This is Don Stadius, the wheelchair traveler. I'm going to take you on a brief tour of the Cultural District of Portland, Oregon. Here we see the Multnomah County Central Library. It's the oldest public library west of the Mississippi. The Collins Gallery is on the third floor. Here we see an exhibit on President Lincoln. Going east 3 blocks on Yam Hill, the Guild Theater of the Northwest Film Center is a half block to the left on 9th, and we go by Nordstrom to reach the Pioneer Courthouse Square. This has been called Portland's Living Room. In the background you see the Pioneer Courthouse. This square was built in 1984. Crossing the square, looking back to the west, there are about 300 events held here in the square during the year. It also has vending carts for food and flowers, a tourist information center, and even a Starbucks on the upper level. Going 1 block east on Yam Hill to 5th Avenue, we see the Pioneer Courthouse. It was built between 1869 and 1875. At that time, all of the federal offices in Portland were in this building. It had the post office on the first floor, the courtroom on the second floor, and internal revenue wherever it could find space. It holds the Ninth Circuit of the U.S. Court of Appeals courtroom and the chambers for the local judges. 3 blocks south on 5th Avenue to Main Street, we go by the Pioneer Place Mall on the left. Here we see the Portland Building. It houses city and county offices. There on the 3rd floor level is the Portlandia statue. We go 2 blocks west on Main Street to Broadway. The 2 buildings you see are part of the Portland Center for the Performing Arts. There are 900 events held in the facilities of the Portland Center for the Performing Arts. Here we see the 65-foot Portland sign with 6,000 light bulbs. The marquee is for the Arlene Schnitzer Concert Hall, which seats 2,779 people. The building was built in 1928 for movies and vaudeville. It presently is the home for the Oregon Symphony, the Whitebird Dance Company, Portland Arts and Lecture Series, and other local performing arts groups. The building on the left is the Antoinette Hatfield Hall. Built in 1987, it contains 2 theaters. The Newmark Theater holds 880 people. Very good close sight lines, only 65 feet from the back row seats to the stage. The other is the Dolores Winnenstadt Theater. It's a very flexible space which seats a maximum of 292 people. We'll continue west on Main 2 blocks. The South Park Restaurant is 1 block north on Park, a favorite for people before and after the theater. Then we go left 1 block on 9th and we reach the Portland Art Museum. This building was built in 1932. It was designed by Pietro Bellusci. It was his first major project. I think it is the handsomest building in Portland. It's easy to see why Mr. Bellusci became a world-famed architect. The museum holds touring exhibits as well as exhibits from its own collection. It is strong in Native American art and Northwest art. It has an outdoor sculpture court which is wheelchair accessible. This is Brushstrokes, a sculpture done in 1996 by Ray Lichtenstein. 1 block east, across the park blocks, is the Oregon Historical Society. On the left we see a faux sculpture painted on a blank wall. The entryway leads to the research library, which houses books, manuscripts, photographs, film and video, genealogical material, and archives about Northwest and Oregon history. The building also has permanent and traveling exhibits. Here we see a Smithsonian traveling exhibit on working in America. This ends our brief tour of wheelchair-accessible locations in the Cultural District of Portland. Remember, your wheelchair gives you a second chance to travel and enjoy life. Use it. This is Don Stadius saying thank you and